And now to take the conversation to, maybe a little light-hearted direction, we have Elizabeth Musa who's joining us. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Osa. Good morning, Olive. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Talk to us. What's trending on social media?
Well, a post has sparked up quite a conversation on social media as Nigerian actor and philanthropist Williams Uchemba has cried out over a disturbing trend in schools. According to the actor and father of one, teachers are now teaching children how to change their gender. Williams also referred to some teachers as agents of darkness sent to destroy lives instead of teaching children their usual classwork. These teachers spend time teaching kids how to become girls if they're boys and vice versa. Some even go as far as showing them how they can surgically change their gender. Let's watch this video.
You know that your kids that you send to school now, especially in the Western world, that what is going on in the school system now is that the teachers, some of these teachers, take out the learning period that children are meant to use to learn, which is why you send them there, to teach them how they can choose, if it's a girl, to be a boy if you want to, and if you're a boy, to be a girl. They now intentionally teach them that they can change gender if they want. Now, this is not, oh, this girl is acting like a guy, or this guy is acting like it. No, this is now them bringing it, these teachers bringing it to the kids, because a little baby now came back home the other day and is now asking the mother, am I a girl? Is it true I can be a boy? They don't even end there. They go as far as saying, in case you don't feel like any of this, in case you don't feel like a boy or a girl, you can choose to be nothing. And they put that category as non-binary. So you can be nothing. And it's a thing. Even in some forms now, you see male, female, non-binary. Most of them are intentionally sent there to disciple your kids, are there discipling you. Why am I making this video? Parents need to pay more attention to not just what their kids learn in school, but also the very first community a child meets on earth is the family. So you don't just say, I have money, I'll send my kids to the best school. No, it goes beyond that now. The school you used to know is not what.
Well, that's how Williams Uchemba feels, and he is mirroring exactly what people are talking about. But let's see the reactions on social media before I get back to you, Osa and Olive. Now, that one is from Charles. It says, everything is just scary. Relationship, marriages, they're scary. Also, parenting is more scary because if you make any mistake, you've damaged a whole generation. More tweets on this particular story. That one is from Young Boss. It says, this is why some people live abroad and send their kids to school in Nigeria. After secondary school, they can come back. I had many of them in my school days. More reactions on this particular story. That was from Kizzy. Kizzy says, one of the reasons I sent my children to a private Catholic school here in the UK is because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with anyone's sexuality, but I do have a problem with you putting the ideas in kids' heads. If they grow and decide to be whoever, I will still gladly raise and love them rather than putting ideas in their head before then. And that one is from Nala of Lagos. It says, let children be children, please. Same with animation. And that's how people are reacting to this particular trend, which Williams Uchemba is put out there. But we'll go on to other stories now. In a tweet which has gathered eyeballs on the social media space, controversial Nigerian singer Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley, has declared plans to donate 1 billion naira for the 2023 Nigerian general elections. Naira Marley, who is president of the Association of Malians, which of course is his fan base, however, didn't state for what purpose this donation would be or which of the parties will benefit from it. This singular post by Naira Marley has sparked up mixed reactions on the social media space. Some believe that this amount is way, way above his net worth, but we'll take a look at this particular post which started this trend. Now, Naira Marley put out this post. It says, I want to donate 1 billion naira for 2023 elections, but what party are we voting for? And people are of the opinion that you don't even know right now. If you don't know what party you are voting for, then you're not serious. Probably you're just cloud chasing. But we'll take a look at how people are reacting to this particular story. That one is from Daniel, who always has huge takes on social media. He says, Naira Marley, you don't have $1 billion. You are not that wealthy. It's advisable that you tread carefully since you're still being watched by the EFCC. Having said that, the 2023 elections isn't a joke. Nigerians are literally fighting for their lives right now, so don't chase clout with it. More reactions on this one. That one is from Joe. Joe says, give the money to the needy, I beg. More reactions on this story. That one is from Coke Official. It says, please give federal government, let them use it to pay them, pay the ASU people. And then we'll take a final comment on this one. Elena says, if by now you haven't made up your mind on which candidate to support, stay mute and don't make jest of the situation. This is a serious time. That's as much comment as we can take about on this particular story on Trend Wave this morning. But I would like to hear your take, Elsa and Olive.
First of all, of course, Naira Marley doesn't have $1 billion. His last album also didn't do so well. But I think, I agree with most of the comments. Elections really it's not a joke, especially in Nigeria today. He very likely put out that tweet, in search of interactions, and just to gather, more.
Probably.
Just to cause some chaos, on Twitter. It's obviously not a serious thing. So I agree with a lot of people who responded, saying pretty much the same thing. Don't joke with the elections, and
Nigerians are literally we're at a delicate stage in our lives, and we don't want to make jokes about this year's election. So yeah. Well, I think we should also move to the other story, William Uchemba's video, and it's important to mention that parenting in 2022 is a whole different ball game, and I just wish they would allow children be children. Really, allow children be children. I was reminded whilst you were speaking about this of an author, a 64-year-old author, who wrote a book explicitly describing intercourse. And she said that this book is for 4 to 8-year-olds. I read an excerpt of it online and it felt like you were reading an erotic material. I wish we would stop watch that. Allow kids be kids. I really think that's just my thought. We need to allow kids be kids, and parenting is deliberate, it's intentional. You have to be involved in the life of your kids, because if you do not parent them, someone else will.
Well, I think so. Right now, William Uchemba's fear is it's not just the parenting aspect. So you can parent, well enough, but send your child to a school that the school teacher decides, oh, I think I would like to see this child, be a different gender, and then ascribe some sort of gender, whatever gender, to your child. And you almost cannot argue, because now you're fighting against forces. And I refer always to the podcast, Madam A podcast by Daryl Cooper that I listen to once in a while. It says something, one of them titled called Egregores, that the West currently, mostly United States, is moving in a certain direction that they think that they are doing the right things. So it's a thing with the mind, where your mind tells you that you're doing this for the betterment of the future of the
liberation, freedom.
You've convinced yourself that you're doing these things for good. But at this point, they're no longer the ones really even doing these things. There is some force. I wish I could describe it as good as Daryl Cooper did. There's some force that is moving, and when there's a state that they'll get to, that they'll realize what damage they've done to the earth.
But it might be too late then.
It will be too late. But the challenge is the people I'm speaking about have never really owned up to doing anything wrong. They would never get to a place in history where they say, oh, we messed up here. It's never happened with any of the wars that they've gotten into, with any of the decisions they've taken in the past, never. And so it's just scary, and it's a reminder that there are other countries you could raise your kids that are moving in this.
And another reminder why we need to build our continent so that everybody doesn't feel the overwhelming need to move to the West. But
exactly.
That's all
one of the challenges people face when they, hop on this jackpot trend at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Liz.
That was a pleasure.
Yes, good to have you.